Another video review. This time of the Klingon Bird of Prey. I'm not sure which class, I think it's Belial class, I'm not very sure. The Klingon Bird of Prey was first introduced in Star Trek III The Search for Spock, when Captain Kirk, I think that's how his name is pronounced, or Clerk, I'm not very sure, destroyed the USS Grissom, an orbit class, in orbit of the planet Genesis, which had been created in the previous movie when Khan had stolen the Genesis torpedo and detonated it on board the USS Reliant as a dying gesture in the hopes that he would destroy the Enterprise and Kirk along with it. Of course he failed, but his actions did result in the life of Spock, who would subsequently come back in the next movie. The Klingon Bird of Prey is really hard to do. It's usually been shown in various sizes. In earlier versions it was shown as a much bigger ship. In Deep Space Nine we would see it as a much smaller ship. Considerably small, barely the size of the Deviant. Yet in Next Generation we would see it almost the size of a Galaxy class. In Next Generation. And in the movies, Star Trek 3, 4, 5 and 6, we would see that the ship was a little bigger. In Generations we saw that it was considerably smaller than the Galaxy class, but it was always hard to tell scale. The Galaxy Klingon Bird of Prey has two flight configurations. This configuration is usually to indicate that it's at flight, like warp speed or impulse. When it will be in battle, the wings will come down and the disruptors here at the tip of the wings would be in battle configuration, and that would be the general torpedo port. And I believe they also come with a turret as well. I can't really see any indication of that on this model. The Klingon Bird of Prey also comes with a cloaking device. Now, in Star Trek, when the Klingons got the cloaking device is actually a little hard to tell. In Enterprise, I believe we actually saw a Klingon Bird of Prey use a cloaking device. I'm not sure, I don't think we did. It was considered that the Klingons got the cloaking device from the Romulans and their very short-lived trade agreement, which would bring both empires basically trying to align together in order to bring down the Federation. Something happened that resulted in the alliance being broken and the Klingons and Romulans absolutely hating one another. Why? I don't know. It hasn't been looked into. Maybe it was something Section 31 has rigged up in order to make sure the alliance wouldn't be a strong one. The Klingon Bird of Prey has undergone various configurations. In Enterprise we would see it as a much bulkier, much beefier looking beast altogether. And this design would be more commonplace from the 22nd century onwards. In Star Trek Online, the design has been updated again, but still looks more or less the same. It's hard to say exactly when this version of the Klingon Bird of Prey originally came into service. At some point, likely in the 22nd century, or 23rd century, but it's very, very hard to say. In Deep Space Nine, we'll pretty much see just how effective these little ships could be in hit and runs. They could cloak, and they come out of cloak quickly, do a quick attack and cloak again. before the enemy can get a lock on. You can pretty much just call them kind of maybe like a border cutter or hit and runs. Little hit and run ships, like tactical escorts. They would also be used like border, convoy duties and that. And while they aren't the most powerful ships, in skilled hands they can be extremely deadly. The model itself is very good. All kinds of little details, ranging from like the wings to the impulse thrusters at the back. The neck detail. It's a little bit hard to see, the camera's not really being the most generous today. Just all kinds of lovely little details. I think I can see what the turret would be. Just there, right at the base of the neck. On the top base anyway. These parts here do look quite fragile, and I think some people have stated that they are quite fragile, and I think I've had them end up snapping off by accident. So you just have to be careful. Well, sadly, in this model the wings don't move, which is a shame. Maybe a future special might have the wings moving. That is pretty cool if it's done well. Right, well that's this review done. I'm not sure when I'm about to do any reviews of the newer models that came out here in the UK. I will as soon as they arrive, if they arrive. For now, that's me done. And couple of hours, I suppose. Signing off.